Thank God, you are finally here. Today is not just another conversation, it is a moment of stillness, a moment to speak about the core values of inner awakening. Let us begin. We are living in the strangest years in the history of humankind. Can you feel it? A vague sense of unease slipping quietly into our sleep. We have technologies that connect everything, yet we feel more isolated than ever. We build skyscrapers that touch the sky, while the foundations of the earth and the human soul are quietly cracking. Since 2018, in less than 7 years, the world has changed at a dizzying pace. But tragically, this change is not an evolution. It is a descent. Today, let us dare to look directly at the 5 deepest wounds of our time. Not to be afraid, but to awaken. 1. The collapse of the living world, a red code for humanity. The first wound, and the most brutal one, our shared home is on fire. Since 2018, reports from the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change have shifted in tone, from warning to emergency, and now, unmistakably, a red code for humanity. Look at the numbers. The years 2023 and 2024 were recorded as the hottest years in the entire history of human observation, stretching back over 100,000 years. According to the World Wildlife Fund's Living Planet report, global wildlife populations have declined by an average of 69% in just a few decades. Biodiversity, the web that sustains life, is being torn apart. Melting ice at the poles is no longer a future prediction. Rising seas are already erasing island nations from the map. Mother Nature is no longer whispering. She is screaming through superstorms, through floods, through droughts that have no historical precedent. 2. The pandemic of the mind, the invisible aftermath. The second wound cannot be seen, but it destroys us from within. A global mental health crisis. The years 2019 to 2021 did not only take lives, they carved a deep scar into the collective psyche of humanity. According to the World Health Organization, in the very first year of the pandemic, global rates of anxiety and depression rose by 25%. But the present moment is even more alarming. We are now living in an age of collective exhaustion. Burnout has become a silent epidemic. Young people, the future of the world, are drifting, burdened by invisible pressure. Self-harm is increasing. Disconnection from reality is reaching critical levels. We are breathing, we are functioning, but how many of us truly feel alive? Or are we merely surviving, day after day with hollowed-out souls? 3. The abyss of inequality. When justice erodes. The third wound. Economic inequality has crossed into moral obscenity. Reports from Oxfam in recent years reveal a painful paradox. Since 2020, the wealth of the 5 richest individuals on Earth has doubled. At the same time, nearly 5 billion people, more than half of humanity, have become poorer. Inflation, food insecurity, soaring living costs. For millions of families, the dream of stability has quietly vanished. This injustice is not merely an economic issue. It is the seed of resentment, of unrest, and of the collapse of trust in social justice across the world. 4. Technology and the loss of our humanity. The fourth wound. The digital trap. Never before have human beings spent more time looking at screens than into each other's eyes. Since 2018, the rise of artificial intelligence and social media algorithms has created a ruthless attention economy. We are addicted to dopamine, to likes, to endless scrolling. False news travels faster than truth, fracturing communities. Our ability to focus is eroding. Our patience is thinning. And most dangerously, we are losing our capacity for empathy. A society where people communicate more through keyboards than through presence is a society slowly turning cold. 5. Geopolitical instability and the rising tide of displacement. Finally, we face the return of an old shadow, the shadow of war and division. Global peace has never been this fragile since the end of the Cold War. Conflicts are erupting from Europe to Asia, from the Middle East to Africa. According to the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, UNHCR, by the year 2023, the number of people forced to flee their homes due to conflict, violence, and human rights violations surpassed 110 million. A historic number, and a painful one. Our world today is short on dialogue, yet overflowing with guns. Turning inward, returning to the self. As you hear this, your chest may feel tight. The world out there feels chaotic, overwhelming, and far beyond the control of you and me. And yes, we cannot single-handedly stop the melting ice. We cannot silence the guns overnight. We cannot erase poverty in a single moment. But please do not allow helplessness to drown you, because the greatest change never begins in high-level summits or grand conferences. It begins in your own room, with the rhythm of your own heartbeat right now. This world is made of billions of individuals. If each individual is an extinguished candle, the world will sink into darkness. But if each of us chooses to light our own flame, the darkness will retreat. Closing. A call to conscious action. So, what can we do? Return to your own life. Begin to live consciously. Instead of mindlessly scrolling, look deeply into the eyes of someone you love and ask, "How are you, really?" That is real connection. Learn to be content. Instead of chasing fleeting material desires that drain the earth's resources, appreciate what you already have. A simple meal, a peaceful night's sleep, a gentle breath. That is happiness. Spread compassion. In a world full of hatred, kindness is the most powerful act of resistance. Help a stranger, listen to someone's pain, and do not let your heart turn to stone. I want to offer you one very practical piece of advice about kindness. If you have money, stop wasting it on extravagant parties and luxury possessions. Help the poor, support your relatives and loved ones, with sincerity and clear awareness. If you do not have money, cultivate positive thinking. Help those around you with your presence, your care, and your genuine heart. All of these actions will become a shield that helps you walk through this difficult era. The world may be changing in a darker direction, but you always have the right to choose not to fall with it. Become the immune system of this earth. Heal yourself, and in doing so, you will help heal the world. Do not wait for the world to become better before you smile. Smile and act with kindness today, so the world has a chance to become better. Because in the end, to save the earth is to save ourselves.